I'm Jeff Hunt. He's Bill Thorpe. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, he said Tuesday, not Friday.
6 a.m., Mile High City. Good morning, Denver, Colorado. You've tuned into the Jeff and Bill Show. News Talk 710 KNUS. Lots to talk about today. Be joined by Christy Burton Brown a little bit later in the show. Advanced Colorado getting Initiative 85 on the ballot, going to raise penalties for fentanyl. It's amazing to me that we have to do this in this state. We elect Democrats that go, hey, fentanyl, not that bad. And then you have to go to the ballot to get to the people to recriminalize this stuff, make the penalties stiffer. Any possession of fentanyl will now be a felony in the state of Colorado. This good move, finally going to address some of the crime problems or a government overreach. Addiction is a health issue. We'll be talking with Christy Burton Brown the 7 o'clock hour. Luke DeFerratis will be joining us as President Trump explores rescheduling marijuana. What does that mean? Is it a full commercialization? No. Is it a step towards that? Possibly. I disagree with President Trump doing this. Is he likely to do it? And is this just an election year effort to try to win some votes? We'll talk with Luke DeFerratis, smart approaches to marijuana in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, Ford writing off $19 billion on the books as it abandons its fully electric vehicle truck going towards hybrids. Billy's a bit of a car guy in addition to a music guy. So
yeah,
we'll get
this
to
is
that.
interesting, but expected. Yeah, this you could see this 6-7 months ago. This was coming. Yeah, because someone didn't do a lot of market research.
It strikes me similar to the Cybertruck, where I'm like, did you talk to the people that buy trucks?
Actually, Elon proudly said he talked to nobody. He on the stage, he proudly said he did zero market research. And this is just kind of a preview as far as our conversation on the EVs, as far as why the Ford F-150 Lightning failed. Remember, and this is a Cybertruck example, remember that Elon Musk booked over 1 million pre-sale reservations for a Cybertruck when it was $40,000. When it was $80,000 to $100,000, he couldn't sell them. Right now, they're offering 0% financing on them, and his own companies are purchasing them in bulk to, one, move units so that Tesla Cybertrucks look good, two, to get a federal tax break on it. Because if you book those sales as a business before the end of this year, 2026, you get to write off a phenomenal amount of money. You think the subsidies for private ownership are great? That's nothing compared to the subsidy you get as a business when you buy an EV. So Elon Musk has his companies right now, in order to goose Tesla sales, buying Tesla Cybertrucks to get extra federal tax credits. So, but again, it's a $40,000 truck, million booked, $80,000 truck. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Well, it tells you where the price point is.
Exactly.
But also, I drive in from the east, and it's this funny little parade of pickup trucks from eastern Colorado into the city every morning, 5 in the morning. They're up early. It's a parade, and they're all pickup trucks, including the guy today tailgating me on the way in because it's a single-lane road on the way in. So I don't see those guys at all interested in electric cars. It's like it's in part a cultural thing. It's also in part the fact that you don't want to be stuck out on a job site with no battery or anything like that. So I just don't think it ever really fit the types of people that are using them on a daily basis. But we'll get into that more.
Yeah, there's some issues there. But brass tacks, the Ford F-150 Lightning performs better across the board at everything compared to the regular Ford F-150. There isn't a single thing that the Lightning fails to do better. And that's the interesting part about this. That's what we'll talk about.
I just don't think people want to plug it in. I think it's a lot of it. You have to retrofit your house, all that stuff, and now you're paying it $1,000. Anyways, we'll get into that in the 8 o'clock hour. Plus, Excel. Speaking of power, may not have it for a few days. Excel announcing on X that in light of the wind coming, You may not have power for a few days.
And the
Who
fun
do you
part about
blame for this?
Well, the fun part about it is it's based on their business decisions, based on their business infrastructure choices.
That
we are
and
now going
the lawsuits
to,
and all that
but
stuff.
This could be fixed if they had made different choices as a business.
Just put it underground.
So you and I and the listeners potentially do without power because they didn't want to do the hard thing.
Correct.
That's great. So,
100%.
Yeah. Do they suffer? No. There's no suffer, no impact. There are some
Except for
lawsuits.
some angry tweets.
Yeah, but that's an idea. You and I, the consumer, suffers because they didn't want to make the better choice. Yay! Winning.
Speaking of that, how many choices in power do you have? Oh, yeah. Wait, never mind. Just one. All right. We've got a lot to talk about. Now is time, though, for the news.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday on the Jeff and Billy Show. 37 with some clouds in Denver. Expecting a high of 65 today. Yes. News sponsored by Pastor Camp.
Global warming.
It's going to all disintegrate. Hey, speaking of that, Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning can help you out. 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story, can't get enough of this. DJT continues to put the spotlight on Colorado, the governor, and Tina Peters.
Colorado, the poorly run state of Colorado, with a governor who's incompetent, and frankly, with a governor that won't allow our wonderful Tina to come out of a jail, in a high-intensity jail, because she caught people cheating on an election, and they said she was cheating. She wasn't cheating. She went over, she looked at one of the election scams going on, and because she did that, they put her in jail for 9 years. The governor of Colorado is a weak and a pathetic man who was run by Tren de Aragua.
47 spoke about her for the first time since he pardoned her. He did that yesterday. Xcel Energy, as Jeff and Bill were just talking about, says it's considering a power shutdown for a large swath of the Front Range because of strong winds, and they're in the forecast for tomorrow. Xcel's Andrew Holder.
The area where we are going to see extreme wildfire risk environment, which includes the high wind event, additionally to that with relatively low humidity, and also where the vegetation or the fuel moisture index next to our assets are in a drier condition.
Xcel says it sent warning notifications to customers living inside the areas where it is possible power could be turned off, saying a shutoff is likely from noon to 6 o'clock tomorrow night. The utility says this option is a last resort to protect people from wildfires.
So who do you blame? This is the question I have this hour. Who do you blame for this? Because big lawsuit. What was it, hundreds of millions of dollars against Xcel as a result of the Marshall Fire?
Right.
That they had to pay. The state leveraging fines against them. Do you blame our litigious society? Do you blame the state government? Do you blame Xcel? Because, look, we're dealing with this out east right now. They want to put out these big transformers and high power lines and all that stuff. And we're like, why don't you guys bury them? And they're like, it's too expensive. We need money for the investors. So do you blame Xcel? Do you blame the government? Is it all of it? And we only got one choice, people. A vast majority of Front Range people rely on Xcel. There's no other option. So you're just you're on that ventilator. Better have a good battery charged up.
Boy, you got that right. Well, I live by the 6 Ps. You know what those are, right?
Oh, please tell me.
Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Ooh.
So if you go back to that, so when, as Bill said, let's see, it would be the preparation of the company then, correct?
Yeah.
The utility?
Yeah.
And looking forward, what, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? How? I mean, when could we have corrected this?
Long time ago. I think they've just been building everything outside for the wind to blow on it for decades now.
I think so I think so as well. So be ready tomorrow. See what happens. Last resort, they say.
Are we going to be on air? What's that? Are we going to be here tomorrow?
Let's see. Well, it says noon to 6, so
Okay.
at night.
That
so
means
you'll be long gone. You'll be feeding the chickens. No, you won't be feeding the chickens. You'll be watching
I'll be
some
driving
crime
kids
show.
at that point. Yeah. Well, I mean, Xcel Energy paid $640 million in its settlement. $640 million.
Wow. Yeah.
In the Marshall Fire settlement.
That's
Whoa.
right.
4,000 plaintiffs. Yeah, I'd probably shut it off too. But, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
They did build everything outside.
Absolutely. All right, a reward is being offered for information on the suspect in the deadly weekend shooting at Brown University.
New surveillance images have been released, and FBI Director Kash Patel says information leading to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the individual could lead to an award of up to $50,000. The suspect is described as a man standing around 5'8" with a stocky build. The public is encouraged to share any personal videos or photographs of the December 13th incident with the FBI. Tips can be reported at 1-800-CALL-FBI. I'm Natalie Migliori, NBC News Radio.
Okay, that guy's not stocky. If you look at the video, he's fat. And he's got a hat and a face mask on, and he doesn't look like he could run 10 yards, honestly. So hopefully they're able to catch this guy. Jeez, the police chief won't say
what he yelled.
Right,
it's crazy.
Right. You heard this. I'm going to play this. Listen to this.
There's a report the shooter yelled something right before his shot came in. Can you tell us what that was?
Yes, part of the investigation.
Is there anything else inside that auditorium that you could tell us?
No,
Did he yell though? Did he say something?
That's something that we're investigating. We took statements and we have to confirm.
Is there any audio from the scene? Any cell phones? There are a lot of cell phones there. Any audio for somebody?
We're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to wrap it up here. My goodness.
What's the over-under on Allah Akbar, is the phrase that was yelled?
Yep, that would be my number one choice. Maybe Trump sucks, something like that. But yeah, I would agree with you. It's just incredible.
But it's amazing that they're hiding
conference.
that. During that press conference, they're going, well, if it was a unique phrase, then somebody, some family member may know. Oh, yeah. You know,
Right.
Kevin
Hello.
yells, Geronimo, before he does anything. Who knows?
Exactly. So we
What
got
answer?
No, it's horrible. DHS reporting the arrests of more than 250 people so far in the federal immigration enforcement operation in the New Orleans area. 32-year-old Nick Reiner is being held without bond in connection with the stabbing murders of his father, Rob Reiner, and wife, Michelle. He'll have his first court appearance today. DJT and socialite DJT Jr., that is, Donald Trump Jr. and socialite Bettina Anderson are engaged to be married. Trump Jr. works for the Trump Organization alongside his brother Eric, of course.
Whoa, I met Trump Jr.'s got engaged, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
It just happened. I thought he was married. I didn't know.
Well, I know he was divorced, and then he was with Kimberly.
Oh, Guilfoyle.
Guilfoyle for a while.
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
they separated. She's now an ambassador to Greece.
Okay.
And then I didn't know he was dating anybody. Bettina Anderson, huh?
Bettina, I'm surprised you don't know her. You know everyone.
Yeah, never
She's
heard of her.
never spoke at any of your events or anything.
But Don Jr. is a cool dude.
Yeah,
you know,
I like
he
him,
spent
man.
some time up in Aspen. I think he was a guide, a bartender.
Is that right?
Yeah. I spent some time up in Aspen, and then when he spoke at the 2018 summit, Charlie and I came up with a deal together to bring him in.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Turning Point split half the cost. We did the other half. Got a donor to fly him in. And then they shared the stage, and then Charlie took him out for some donor fundraising stuff. So that's how Charlie and I worked. We would oftentimes like team up to offset the cost on something. But Don was at the 2018 summit, hanging out in the back, really down-to-earth guy. Like, he's a guy you would go hunting with, 100%.
Yeah,
Just super
that's what he
down-to-earth.
seems like.
Yeah.
Seems just like a good dude.
Which
around.
I've always said is a testimony to who Trump is. Trump,
True.
the dad,
True.
with regards to the kids he raised. I've met
Exactly.
Eric. I've met Don Jr. I've never met Ivanka or Tiffany, but they seem, all 4 kids came out really well.
Pretty grounded for being raised by a billionaire. Yeah.
Right?
They could easily be such D-bags.
Well,
and they're not.
Look, so I grew up in Cherry Hills, and my best friend was the son of a Denver Bronco. I saw this
you saw
first.
a lot of this.
What I saw was that for most people to maintain that lifestyle, Dad is working 80 hours a week. He's the billable hours at the law firm, or he's a professional athlete or whatever. He is working his tail off. Mom spends a lot of time at the country club. So, she's not necessarily around all the time either. This wasn't the case with my parents, but with a lot of other people out there. And as a result, kids just are on their own with a lot of money.
Right.
And so you pretty much get into whatever you want to do. Alcohol. Typically it starts with alcohol, then it gets into marijuana, then it gets into harder and harder drugs, and nobody's around to tell you. I've often said that you have the same problems in Cherry Hills that you do with other families. They can just hide it better.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had a friend of ours, one of the wealthiest families in Colorado, dies of a heroin overdose.
Wow.
I mean, this kid would never have had to work his entire life.
Unbelievable.
Dies of a heroin overdose. It's so rough out there with the drugs and the addiction that takes place, and then you see it with Rob Reiner too.
Yep.
We don't know the details of why his son did this, but troubled drug history past.
Yep.
So, anyway,
the Bible is correct, isn't it?
Oh,
God
100%.
God warns of this.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So for Trump's kids to
amazing how
come
it
through
works.
all that and turn out as well as they did, it's impressive.
It is. It is, absolutely. Candace Owens and Erica Kirk met in Nashville on Monday in person, and they talked for 4.5 hours. We'll talk about that in the next hour. Monday Night Football last night. The Steelers lead the AFC North after beating the Dolphins 28-15. Aaron Rodgers threw for more than 220 yards and a pair of touchdowns as the Steelers haven't lost on Monday Night Football since the early 90s at home. That's pretty crazy. The Nuggets last night playing host to the Rockets in Lodo.
Here she goes, firing, well off the mark, grabbing the rebound, and the clock will expire. The Nuggets have won 5 in a row and put a halt to their 4-game home losing streak.
128-125 the final. Avalanche at Seattle tonight. 38 in Aurora, 35 in Lakewood, 37 in Denver. You're waking up with Jeff and Billy. And, hey, wow, Luke Niforatis is on the show today. It's a big day.
By the way, I got word, too. He's coming back to Colorado.
Oh, amen.
Good guy.
Love Luke, former neighbor. What a great dude. Blake Olson, News Talk, 710 KNUS.
Your 7:10 5-day forecast, a mild start to our Tuesday with morning temperatures in the upper 30s. Skies going to be mostly clear. Brisk winds and sunny for Tuesday, highs in the mid-60s and lows upper 30s, low 40s Tuesday night. Partly cloudy into early Wednesday. Wednesday mid-60s with strong winds developing in the afternoon through the evening. Some evening rain showers as well. Cold front will drop our lows into the upper 20s. Meteorologist Don Watzel in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
a song that had controversy a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you gave us the background on this the other day.
It is. Yeah, basically, we'll run it through real quickly. It's a songwriter and his wife. They are hosting a housewarming party. It's actually their home, and they write this song as kind of a gift, a celebration, etc. And it was so popular, they were asked to perform it at various other parties throughout the Hollywood scene in that era. When you're a songwriter during this time frame, that was what you did, the idea of singing for your supper. That was often what happens. In fact, that's how they got invited to the parties. Because you didn't invite the songwriters, you were inviting the stars. Why would you invite the scrubs? The scrubs then would provide the entertainment. You're not going to lean on the performers. So that's what happened. And notably, my favorite part about this is it eventually starts an argument between the couple because it is used in a movie, and she's super mad over the pair that is going to sing their song in the movie because she doesn't like them. And so it starts a fight between the two of them. It's actually sung twice inside of that movie. She's okay with the second couple, but as the first one, it's Ella Fitzgerald and Ricardo Montalban. She's super mad that they're going to sing their song. She was really mad. So, yeah, she was super mad at him for a while. But, yeah, it's not a date rape song. It was written by a husband and wife.
Date rape song.
Yeah, but there were
Good
questions.
night.
Yeah, there were questions about it.
Well, I got some questions, too.
Yeah.
One, where the heck's the snow?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Dude, we've
Where the
got
hell is
so
the
much
snow?
to talk
Yeah.
about this hour with regards to weather out there because Excel's like, hey, we're paid out $640 million last time a fire started. Yes, we know we built everything above the ground and fires start because it was cheaper to do it that way, but $640 million is quite a tab to pick up. So
again,
we're gonna let this one go and turn off the power.
It's them saying, yeah, we know that your bill has cleared. We know that you're current, but we're not going to deliver the service. We've decided we're not going to deliver the service in part because of structural choices that we made, and we got caught in lawsuits. So these are a series of choices made by Excel that now impact the downstream customers, of which none of the customers that will have their power cut off were responsible for the choices that forced Excel to cut the power. That's the entire BS in this system. You aren't responsible for these choices, yet it is you, not Excel, that pays the price. My solution, if I was given the governor's mansion, is, okay, we start a timer. When you cut off the power in those locations, we run the meter backwards and you rebate those people. You rebate.
That's a good idea.
In fact, what I would do, though, is, and in fact, this is how much of a jackass I am in this thing, because you've cleared this. You've cleared this. You built these power lines. You cleared these bills. You said this is okay. I would double it. I would sit there and say, I roll it back.
Because don't you get the paycheck at the end of the month?
Well, based on the number of hours, yeah. But the idea is, I would just sit there and I would just rebate. I would turn back and say, whatever it is, I'd give them a bonus back. Whatever it is, because again, the idea is you can't use your power. So even if I don't use 100, let's say it's 100 hours or whatever it is, I get paid for that, and instead, because they cut my power off at 70, they owe me, I'd make you pay me for the other 30. I would have you, Excel, pay me a check for the 30 I couldn't use. It's not because I wasn't home. It's not because I turned crap off.
Yeah.
It's because you cut my power. You cut my power, give me money back.
Now, Mr. Thorpe, I would just like to point this out.
Yeah.
A moment of personal privilege here.
Ooh, yeah.
We are screaming towards this 2050 mandate that we're off fossil fuels entirely. It's all green energy. Okay? I'm pretty sure that requires wind. Oh.
Yeah.
Wind.
That'd be one of the supplements.
Okay. Okay. So the wind is about to blow, and we're shutting off the power?
Yeah.
Huh.
And the other part is...
Seems like that thing that would generate a lot of power for a state that wants to be totally on quote-unquote green energy, this would be a good time. Like, you'd be going, yes, look at all the wind. And instead we're like, no, look at all the wind.
Yeah. In theory, if it was a perfect world, you would allow the wind generators to then lower the amount of kilowatt hour that you are paying. That would be the bonus, would be because it is easier and less expensive for them to generate the power because it's going outside and they don't have to use the other plants, then hour per hour rate should drop. That's the win. How exciting would it be if Xcel Energy was coming to you and saying, because of all this wind, you're going to pay less over the next couple of days to heat your house, to warm your house. Hey, you know that Christmas tree? Leave it on 24/7 because it's going to be less expensive. That would be the message. But
Touche,
no, they don't make
Mr.
that.
Thorpe.
I know.
Well argued. That is exactly. If green energy, if this was the heaven that the libs had all promised us it was going to be, you get those big gusts of wind, everyone should be dancing because things are going to be so cheap.
Yeah. And the
Instead, your grandma on the ventilator is going to die.
Yeah. And the biggest problem was the idea that it was an either or. That's just stupid. It was moronic for the people on the left to push green energy as the replacement. It always should have been the supplement, because if they had talked about it being a supplement and we had looked at wind farms for a supplement on days like today, they come out looking like heroes. They come out looking like heroes that, wow, you've lowered my energy bills. I see the value in this, rather than you are making it more expensive because I have to yank the gas lines out of my home next time I upgrade my stove. That's the big problem with this, not an either or.
All right, speaking of problems, where's the snow? We're 30% below median average right now, currently following a similar path that we did and saw during the winter of 2023 and 24. That season, however, though, ended about average. Was with a strong El Nino year. Also contributed to contiguous U.S. experiencing its warmest winter on record. So, looks like we're around 23, 24.
Yeah, it's a problem right now, and I appreciate the fact that you brought this up, because this weekend I was literally having the thought, where's the snow? Where's the snow?
Are you worried?
Yeah, I am a little bit. You know why?
Yeah.
My car needs new shoes. So if we get deep snow, my car's shoes are not what they should be right now. And I'm just purposefully putting it off because I don't have time to get them changed until I have a little vacation-y time, which is coming up next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm watching the forecast going, oh boy, because again, this is a problem of my creating. I'm not blaming anybody for this. This is a problem of my creating. Are my tires bald? No. Are they even close to bald? No. But do they not have a tread depth that is good enough to get me through the amount of snow that I want to and need to? No, not at all. I'm going to slide all over the damn street, and that's not safe. So I've been watching this, but I've been thinking, where is the snow, especially as we creep closer and closer to Christmas?
It's kind of eerie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So we live out on a ranch, which means I'm doing ranch chores every day.
Every day.
Oftentimes right after the show. I'm walking around with the chickens and goats and making sure everyone's fed, and throughout the evening as well. And it's just eerily dry out there when you're doing the ranch work. So that's bizarre to me. And then secondly, I was a river guide for 5 summers.
Yeah,
I used to watch this very carefully because it would determine the entire summer.
Yes.
How it went, how the business was going to be, the water flow. I went through the 100-year drought, which was 2000, or 2001, 2002. That was the year that Bill Owens was like, I was in the tourism industry, and he goes, the whole state's on fire. And we're like,
well, great.
Bill, I want you to understand how much of our revenue comes from people from Texas.
Yeah.
Right? They all come up, and they're big oil people, and they all want a vacation during the summer when it's super hot in Texas. Up in Colorado, they like to take the kids rafting.
Yeah.
When you say the state's on fire, it doesn't necessarily help us.
Doesn't help.
But, by the way, great governor. Love him. But sometimes they make remarks like that. Yeah. Anyways, I went through that where water was so low on the Arkansas River. I guided in Buena Vista on the headwaters of the Arkansas, and it was a trickle, and you're pulling boats over rocks, and revenue's down, and customers are down, and it's a big problem. You're not making as much money. It has a huge impact on tourism. So it's going to affect, if this snowpack doesn't pick up, it's going to affect water for farmers. It's going to affect water for the tourism industry. It's going to affect the ski industry in part. but also because they sell passes.
Yep.
It's not really going to affect them.
They're not as worried as the raft guys are,
right.
like yourself, because they don't depend on weekly bookings. Yeah.
Right. So, it's rough. Snowpack's down, winds up, Excel cutting power. Who do you blame for all this? And what are you expected to do tomorrow? Is it tomorrow or is it today? Today, tomorrow. When is the getting off?
I think it's today and tomorrow. I don't
is
remember.
Is it today? It starts at noon today?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
All right. We'll go get the details on that. But give us a call. Join the conversation. 303-696-1971. 303-696-1971. Text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line at 720-819-5115. Let's talk Gyrie's, folks. Wife and I went to the Gyrie's in Parker. They're all over the Denver metro area and had an absolutely fantastic experience. We sat down with their professional designer who showed us an incredible selection of Hunter Douglas custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Look, I was a little overwhelmed at first because I've never worked with a professional design pro. Normally, I just wander around Home Depot, go back like 8 times because I don't know what I'm doing. But I was like, all right, we'll talk to the design pro. I was concerned mostly about cost. It wasn't crazy. Very affordable. And she walked us through everything and helped us find the perfect options to enhance the look and functionality of our home. So whether your curtains are clashing or you just want a fresh look, plus now they have blinds on remote controls that are amazing, Gyrie's has the solutions for you. Their designers are the experts, and they can help you with everything from window treatments to full room decor. But here's the best part. They offer a personalized in-home consultation. They'll come directly to you. They bring lasers to measure everything and samples. It's amazing. Get the same expert advice we got in our home and yours. Do yourself a favor. Get started today. Visit Gyrie's.com to schedule your in-home consultation. That's GUIRYS.com. Go see the great people at Gyrie's. You'll be sure to thank me, and we'll continue. Phone calls coming in. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710, KNUS. Ooh. We're stepping outside the usual with this one. This is Tom Petty's Christmas All Over Again that was released in the mid-'90s. Take a listen to this. It's all recorded live. It's one single take. Co-producer on the song is ELO co-founder Jeff Lynne, who also plays on the track.
This kind of reminds me of the movie Love Actually, where the rock star does the Christmas album because he needs money.
Now, this is interesting because there are 18 people in the studio at this time. So it's all live, being played and recorded. And Tom Petty did this on purpose because he felt that the only real Christmas album that had been produced in modern times was Phil Spector's Christmas album. And it was that Phil Spector solid wall of sound, a lot of live recordings. You don't go back and redub. And that's the energy that he wanted to bring to this song. And he didn't want to do a cover song, wanted to do a new song because Phil has a couple of new ones on there and some other stuff. So, yeah, that's inspired by Phil Spector. And the cool thing that I find in that one is it's all live, and there are 18 people in the studio at the time recording, and it's one take. I just think that's phenomenal. I think that's great.
Louis was one take too, right?
Yeah.
That's why the drummer gets it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, yes. And I love that they're bringing the live performance into the actual recording. That I think that's just fantastic. So I like that one. That's a fun one. That's an underappreciated song in my book.
There you go. Mr. Thorpe with his music information.
Yeah.
All right. Excel is shutting off power starting tomorrow from noon to 6 to pretty much everybody in Denver. So that'll be fun. In light of the wind, they're doing this. They paid out over $600 million after the wildfire, the Marshall wildfire, was blamed on them. So they're like, yeah, we're not doing it. We're not going to risk it. Again, winds are coming. We're shutting off the power. Do you fault Excel for doing this? I mean, they did choose to build everything above ground. They could have built it below ground. We're dealing this out east right now in Elbert County, where we're telling them we don't want high voltage power lines and they're above ground. Why don't you build them underground? They are telling the residents because it is too expensive. So we're going above ground. Now they have to shut off the power. And is this a condemnation, too, of the whole green energy plan? Because you would think that high wind would be good, but instead you're actually not able to get power. So let's go to the phone lines. Marcus Aurora. Good morning, Marcus. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning, guys. My solution is bring in Black Hills Electric. They're operating out of Wyoming, and they supply power to parts of Colorado. They also had to build windmills down there and the solar panels because it was federal law, but they also got those coal factories down there, and they got a power plant sitting on a coal field, which is cool, and also they control almost all the natural gas. Let's get rid of XL out of Minneapolis and bring them in. They're right next door.
Yeah, it bothers me a lot that Excel comes out of Minneapolis, and understand that, again, this was about consolidation and market efficiency over decades. And, without getting on to a soapbox at this point, eventually I believe that the U.S. is going to have to deal with some ideas of monopolies. And I don't think that power companies necessarily, because you can't have two different power companies sharing same lines. That's going to be a very difficult thing to manage, and you don't want people dropping two sets of power lines. So there's not a perfect solution there, but going to these larger conglomerations that end up covering multiple states, I think does a disservice to the core customer. And I would love to see, as you talk about, Marcus, some smaller power companies that are at least more state and regional focused than, we got an office out of Minneapolis. What sort of impact, the people that are up top of that totem pole, what sort of an impact or reality do they understand about the power needs inside of Colorado? Would they ever make a decision that maybe, based on our environment in Colorado, that you should spend the extra money to bury the lines, rather than maybe paying out hundreds of millions of dollars later in a lawsuit because those lines blew over in high winds and now you're turning power off? I would submit that people that would live closer to Colorado might have a better idea about power needs in Colorado. I think that's one of the disservices we've done.
Here's a really good question from Joan in Lakewood. Is this going to affect streetlights? How about traffic lights?
I don't know if it'll be going at night. That would be the question. That'd be a good question.
Well, your traffic lights will go in the middle of the day.
Yeah, but I guess my guess is on that power grid, they would keep those areas up and running. But I don't know. It's a good question. But yeah, I would assume so.
Marcus,
because
what do
you
you
can't turn the power.
think?
You can't turn the stoplights off.
Well, I'd like to just see some competition and to reform our utilities board. We the people now, come on. We pay the bills and everything, and we deserve some type of backing here. Let's just put it that way. I'm not impressed with the governor, but what do you think? We need that competition. If Black Hills can do it and Excel can't, let's get rid of them.
I wonder how much Excel gave to Jared Polis.
That's what I'm wondering.
How much did Excel? Give me a second to talk on this. Maybe Bill, or research.
Yeah.
Maybe Bill, you have a question.
Yeah, no, I mean, the problem, I understand the competition, Marcus, but the problem is that with those type of public utilities, having competition is functionally nearly impossible. And the idea of, imagine if you had 2 police forces, 2 fire department, different organizations, and you had to subscribe to one or the other. And the problem with a power company is the delivery lines. It's like, okay, when you hear those knockoff phone companies, the Patriot Mobile and Free Speech Talk and whatever the hell also, they say, leave the big carriers and join us. The scam inside of that, and I do refer to it as a scam, is those companies are just buying space on the other lines. So you may be leaving Verizon, T-Mobile, or AT&T and going to something like a Patriot Mobile, but Patriot Mobile is buying time and space on the Verizon lines. So you're not actually leaving Verizon. Also, you're still paying Verizon. So it's not accomplishing exactly what you need, and that's what I'm worried about as far as power companies, is that it's phenomenally inefficient financially to drop multiple power lines into areas, and also dangerous. And so that's what I think we would run into for competition on the power side of things. Is you can't have 3 sets of power lines running through a neighborhood. That it just becomes too burdensome and too ridiculous, and there's a law of diminishing returns. That's the problem I think we have with competition on that side. And there's no real good solution.
What if we give Black Hills the natural gas contract?
Well, the PUC is still going to take it away. It's not Excel that's taking away your natural gas. It's the PUC, the Public Utility Commission. Yes, Excel did donate pretty significantly to Jared Polis's inauguration fund.
Wow.
And that is not publicly known information.
And I would guess, and I'm not 100% certain, but again, if I was going to lay the power lines and the power infrastructure, I would have the street lights and the stoplights on a different circuit than I would have the home power on. And that's what I would do, but I don't know. I don't know if they have that ability.
Then I think that makes it easier to turn off, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
I want that.
If I was going to do it, if I was going to look at this idea that I was going to have to eventually turn off power to homes but keep this operating, they'd be on 2 different circuits. But I have no idea how they're wired. I have no clue at all.
Well, if you're dealing with appliance issues, by the way, Marcus, thank you for the call.
Thanks,
really
Marcus.
appreciate it. If you're dealing with appliance issues and the lack of power makes you think, gosh, I could use some more and better appliances right now, discover incredible savings at Mountain High Appliances Clearance Center in Denver. Their clearance center offers a huge selection of ranges, refrigerators, washers, dryers, and more. Save up to 60% on open box, scratch, and dent display models, and overstocked appliances from Bosch, Thermador, KitchenAid, and many more. When you're looking for great deals on appliances, think Mountain High Appliance Clearance Center for the best prices and selection. 601 East 64th Avenue in Denver. That's 601 East 64th Avenue in Denver. All right, we'll continue. We got You Choose the News coming up. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710 KNUS. at the lyrics here with this one. This is Frank Sinatra's Mistletoe and Holly. This is really good. This is a slower one, but doesn't get played a heck of a lot. We were talking last time with Tom Petty having like 18 musicians in the studio recording this. He has a full orchestra, and there are more than 24 background singers. The background singers kick in later in this this song. Little known fact, mistletoe appears in a lot of Christmas carols. Why?
Because you're supposed to kiss underneath it, right?
Actually, it's something even easier. It's the open vowel sound. It's easy to sing, mistletoe. Because you have that open vowel sound at the end, it's easy to rhyme and it's easy to fit into lyrics. That's why it appears so often. Yeah, back in the day, it was a lot of kissing. But also remember, that's the twig and poop thing. It's because mistletoe is actually a parasitic plant that lives off of other plants and is spread by birds eating the seeds and then pooping them out. So it's in some cases it's known as the bird poop plant. Yeah, it's not as fancy and as sexy as we think it is. Mistletoe is actually an awful plant. It's actually horrible, and it'll make you sick if you eat the berries. So it's funny, but it rhymes well, and it's romantic that we now kiss underneath.
So people were happy to cut it off and hang it up in the house.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so that's why. But also it appears in so many songs because it's so easy to rhyme. It fits into that lyric pattern. Yeah.
Why don't you take us into some You Choose the News, Mr. Thorpe?
Yes, it is that time of the morning where we get to play America's favorite fake radio news game show. It's You Choose the News. You know how this works. I browse the interwebs for really dumb stories about us humans, give them even more ridiculous headlines so that we get to play this fake radio news game show. I have the stories in my hands. Blake Olson is in the news department. Jeff Hunt is in the studio. And a reminder, this is a giant secret. Those in charge do not know that we are wasting valuable airtime at this time, so shh. Okay, now, here we go. Gentlemen, here are your choices this morning. Headline number 1, this works well, Can I Lick It? Headline number 2, Becoming the Hero. Headline number 3, Becoming the Villain. And headline number 4, Uno Reverse.
Uno Reverse.
Uno Reverse! At a technology showcase in Iran, something close to Uno Reverse went on recently. Now, this is a huge tech show in Iran, and it sparked a heated debate online because one company debuted their amazing robot technology. Yeah, Elon Musk and this Optimus robots better be paying attention because these things were next level. They were so lifelike. They could correspond, they could communicate with you, they moved around the floor, they interacted with people, and yeah, they weren't really robots.
I was going to say, is there a little man inside?
No, they were people. They were people dressed up in costumes. And if you see the videos online, you're like, this shouldn't have taken 30 seconds to figure it out. These people were wearing white bodysuits emblazoned with ones and zeros, binary code type things. Makes you look all computery. They answered questions with scripted lines and did the old thing like you're in the club and you're doing the robot dance. That's how they moved. Yes, it's like they were in the 80s. So that's exactly it. Lots of blowback online. The company said, we were just talking about what was possible. So here's the fun part. Remember, we're talking about artificial intelligence taking our jobs? Well, this should have been artificial intelligence and humans taking the jobs of the robots. Uno Reverse. We're finally taking their jobs. Not sure I'm happy about it, but still. All right, Blake, Can I Lick It? Becoming the hero or becoming the villain?
Becoming the hero.
Yeah, there's a moral choice there. Okay, Becoming the hero. An Indian man recently outsmarted a scammer that was impersonating a college friend and tracked him down using ChatGPT. This is a great story. Now, according to the person that was being scammed, the guy contacted him on Facebook pretending to be a friend from college. And he says, hey, I'm now working with the military, and an officer friend is moving, and a lot of his high-end furniture and stuff and appliances, he's just trying to get rid of it, man. You want to send me some money? And the guy's like, yeah, this sounds like a great deal. He felt something was up. He reached out to his friend. He said, no, that's not really me. So the guy reached out to ChatGPT, had it create a fake website, and said, dude, go to here and upload the QR code that you want me to use me to pay here. It'll make it easier. When he went to that website, it caught the scammer's IP address, exact geolocation, and clicked pictures from his camera that was attached to his computer.
I saw this.
So then he contacted the dude and was like, ha ha, and the guy freaked out. Yeah,
that's
fantastic.
Awesome.
It is such a great move. All right.
That is awesome.
Jeff, final choice. Can I Lick It or Becoming the Villain?
Becoming the villain.
Yes, we just were becoming the hero. Now we're becoming a villain. A New Jersey man who was initially praised for trying to save his neighbor in a deadly fire is now accused of killing her in that blaze. The 70-year-old has now been charged with first-degree murder and first-degree felony murder. Back in July, police and fire units were dispatched to the 82-year-old's home. Inside, she was pronounced dead. Now, the guy's son, in an interview with NBC New York, said he looked at the flames and he opened the bedroom door. He ran inside. He just had to try to save her, but he just couldn't. Well, come to look at it, the investigation says, no, this was a homicide. She was dead before the fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Exactly. So, yeah, he's now facing murder charges.
Yeah.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go, becoming the villain. Everyone thought you were a hero. Now you're the villain. Back to you, sir.
Well, speaking of heroes, Christy Burton Brown's going to join us as they're trying to recriminalize fentanyl in Colorado. We'll be up next. You're listening to Jeff and Bill.
KNUS.